wish I could say that this was going to be my last video on the Sephora sale, but I might have another haul coming, but that's irrelevant. This is going to be one where it does the opposite of what my other videos did. And we're going to be talking about what you should not buy in the Sephora sale. Normally I do this video every Sephora sale since it is so push, purchase, which do what you want, buy what you want, or don't buy what you don't want, you know what I mean? But I did want to, maybe push you in the other direction if that is the stage in life that you are in. And I've pulled just a handful of products that I feel like you might be seeing around that were a little bit more on the viral side, that you guys seem more interested in, that I personally just don't think they're worth it even at a discounted price. But first, let's talk brands, because there are a lot of brands that I recommend for the most part staying away from during the Sephora sale. That being said, there is a convenience ordering on Sephora, and there is a convenience during the sale even if these brands might have their own sales that are better. There's something to be said about just being able to purchase it along with other items, saving yourself the time of waiting for these specific brands to go on sale and just purchasing it all at one place. But generally speaking, if you are going to order numerous products from the same brand, maybe listen to the brands that I recommend not purchasing from during the sale. So for my favorite brands, do not purchase from Pat McGrath. The only items I recommended for this sale this time were the new bronzers and the new eyeshadow palettes, because those are going to be a little bit longer before they go on sale on the Pat McGrath website. And if you want the new and now, then maybe pick them up, especially if you're rouge. If you're not rouge, then there's even less of an incentive. But Pat McGrath will have 30 to 35% off sales. So for the most part, generally speaking, I would hold off on Pat McGrath because you're going to get a way better discount for those brand sales. Now, a lot of brands have friends and family sales. The ones that I know have them, Fenty Beauty has friends and family sales. Normally, I don't order a bunch of Fenty products at once, so I'll pick up a Fenty product or two during the Sephora event. But if there's a lot you need to pick up, I would wait on Fenty, especially if you're not rouge, because you can get 20 to 25% off. Tarte always has sales, and Too Faced. And Tarte and Too Faced go hand in hand because they always have big friends and family sale, 20, 25, sometimes 30% off. But a lot of their products, since they push out so many products, will go on sale like 50% off once they're no longer new and now. So I definitely recommend waiting for Too Faced and Tarte if you're planning on purchasing multiple products, or if you are not rouge, wait for those sales. Now, for the most part, most of the mid-range brands, Inky List, Huda Beauty, the non-luxury brands, if you are on their mailing list from their website, you will get notified. They have friends and family sales. Even Hourglass has 20% off friends and family sales. But just as a little guide, some great brands to pick up that almost never go on sale are the most luxurious brands like Gucci, Tom Ford. Natasha Denona will have sales, but generally speaking, it's very, very far and few between. So if you want something from Natasha Denona, this is a good time. Charlotte Tilbury, the first time I've ever seen them have a percentage off sale was a few months ago, but they hadn't had a percentage off sale in years. So Charlotte Tilbury is a great brand to pick up. But just keep an eye out, put yourself on your favorite brand's mailing list, and if there's any specific brand that you want to purchase a lot of, hold off to see if they have friends and family sales, particularly, as I've said before, if you are not rouge, it might not be worth it. So choose wisely. That's the kind of 2 cents I wanted to give. NARS is also a brand that has friends and family and Makeup Forever as well. If you know of any brands that have friends and family sales that I didn't mention today, comment down below that you know are better. But for me, for what I purchase a lot, Pat McGrath has way better sales than what you're gonna get. So just keep that in mind. Dior is another good one that does not really go on sale, so it's good to pick up Dior. Okay, I've said my 2 cents on that. Just shop wisely, and that's a good way to do it. I don't really shop wisely though, because when the Sephora sale is here, I just purchase whatever I want because it's all in front of me, and that is the benefit of shopping the Sephora sale. But brand heavy purchases, think about it, think twice. Now let's get into the actual specific products. It's a smaller video than normal. I would say in the last few months, I've purchased more drugstore products, and I've been testing a lot more affordable / indie brands. For those affordable brands, they're definitely is a higher percentage of a fail rate. So those have been most of my fails. The mid-range, high-end Sephora tier level products, they haven't been that bad. And if I didn't like them, I felt like maybe it might work for other people, not just for me. But here are like my non-negotiables that I really don't recommend. This first one is from Peter Thomas Roth, unfortunately. And they had a smaller version of this for, I believe it was the under eyes, that went so stinking viral, which made me excited for this one. It's the Instant Firm X No Filter Primer. Ugh. It's not good, so let me show you. So this is a big no-no under makeup. I find that whatever makeup I put on top tends to pill. Now that being said, this primer is not made for me, which is completely fine, but it should be known if it does sound like something that is of interest to you, it pills like crazy, so it's best to use a light amount. That will definitely decrease the pillage that you get, but makeup does not go well over top of this, so keep that in mind. But the purpose of this is it's supposed to tighten, firm, and blur the look of skin, and it has a temporary effect. You can actually feel it pulling at your skin. There was a video of a woman who had under eye bags, and she used it for her under eyes, and it literally sucked up the bags as she talked. It was incredible. It made that product sell out, so they came out with this primer version. I do feel the pull, but like I said, I'm not going to get as much results because I don't have much to tighten. I'll have my time when I do. I don't notice results with it. That's just me. My skin type not made for me, but it does make makeup look bad on top, which is why I don't recommend it. The next product that I have, unfortunately, I really wanted to like this, but this is from Kosas. This is the Glow IV Vitamin Infused Skin Enhancer. I've since picked up a couple more shades, not purchased, but they sent me a couple more shades, and it's too glittery. It's a very glittery product, and I feel like there is a time and a place where a product like this might be appropriate, but for me, I don't have a time and a place for that very often. So yeah. Now, for me, I find that the most effective application of how this works best for me is pretty much to underpaint with it because it has such a metallic effect. It actually looks pretty good with foundation over top. The glowiness does peek through, but my issue is the glitter. It makes my face look glittery, which is most of the time not the vibe that I'm looking for. Like, I don't mind a little bit of glitter. I'm not completely put off it, but this is really, really strong glitter. It doesn't look good on its own because it's really metallic. It gives a very heavy, sweaty effect. Over top of makeup, I don't like it because of the glitter. So the best use for me, the way that I've been able to make it work best for me, is just underpainting with it, pretty much putting it all underneath, spreading it out, keeping it minimal. And you can see how sweaty and like the Tin Man I look, which is fine. Look, can you see the peeling happening because of that Peter Thomas Roth thing? I will not be wearing this makeup all day, but here you can see for me dragging it down. So it probably was not best to apply the Kosas over top the way that I did. The best way to apply makeup over top the Peter Thomas Roth is to use patting motions, not swiping motions, but I just, whatever, at least you saw how it worked, or how it didn't work. It looks terrible. So I don't recommend the Peter Thomas Roth for that reason. I don't recommend the Kosas because I look crazy, but it's rolled off my skin from the Peter product, but you can see it's glittery. It's too much for me. I think there's a crowd of people I can see working for. I'm not one of them, and I know a lot of you guys wouldn't be as well. I put the lights down really low so you can see the glitters in the Kosas literally glistening in the light. Okay, so this next product, it wasn't like new or viral or anything, but I did try it in the most recent few weeks, and I'm just not jiving with it, so I thought I'd share with you the Say Air Set Radiant Loose Setting Powder. The big thing for me about this is it darkens wherever I put it on top of, and kind of makes the concealer that I put the same color as my base product. So when I apply concealer, I like it a shade lighter. This completely gets rid of the fact that it's a shade lighter. And I typically, with powders, I actually will buy the powder in a light shade as well to keep the brightness. So this gets rid of the brightness. It also disagrees with a lot of concealers. It will look bumpy and textured on my under eyes. Right now, I'm wearing the Valentino Beauty Concealer, which is beautiful. I purchased this during the sale, and I really, really like it. So it's jiving with the Valentino concealer, but it still like makes the under eyes look a little dry. You can kind of see some really micro fine wrinklage happening. So I just don't like this powder. I don't think it's very flattering. I think there are so many, maybe not so many, but there's a number of better powders at Sephora that are ions better. So I recommend this. It's not like a big call out for today's video, but I thought I'd share it. There's a little bit of sparkles in here as well. Nothing crazy, but again, just something to note. I haven't been a fan of that really. I also wanted to mention a couple eyeshadow palettes. So the first one being from Natasha Denona. This is $62. It's the Love Face palette. And I can make it work. It's not a bad palette, but it's just not worth the money. So this is one of the newer-ish and exciting things at Natasha Denona. And with those $62, you can get something so much better from the brand. You can even get more purpley eyeshadows from the brand that are just better than this overall. The color story is a little lacking. I do like the eyeshadows, but the blush is an extremely unflattering color. I'm not in love with it. $62 is a lot. Even with the discount, it's still a lot. I can foresee this eventually going on 50% off sale as well. So I would hold off for that. You just can get so much better from the brand. Not a fan of this. I'll probably pop the blush on when we get there. And also on the Sephora website, I know I told you not to get Pat McGrath to begin with, but if you were just, gonna throw something in your cart, don't let it be these Star Wars eyeshadow palettes. It's such a shame because I recommended this style of eyeshadow palette from Pat McGrath. This formula I thought was really beautiful, but all of a sudden she came out with these half-assed Star Wars palettes, and the quality suddenly isn't so good. And I know right now they have the golden one on the website. So boring. You can get this color story in other Pat McGrath palettes at better quality. So really disappointing. Some other ones at launch, like this one would be the only one that's worth it. I believe this one was a Pat McGrath exclusive. It's Divine Droid. More worth it because the colors are unique, but Sith's Seduction as well, a little bit more unique. I'd recommend this one over the golden one, but still the formula on these just a little off. So I'm gonna pop on the golden one today and we will get a pretty look. But I'm just telling you, as somebody who's tried every single palette that Pat McGrath has launched, these are not worth the money whatsoever. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. The look is really pretty. I knew it would turn out pretty, but it still is not worth the money, okay? So I'm gonna start off, I'm gonna use this shade right here, and I'm gonna pat it down. Now the mattes are okay. I think they overblend a little bit, but it's the shimmers that aren't really great in this palette. You can just get better from the brand. But do you see how dark it was when I first applied it, and it's already kind of overblended? Don't love the mattes, don't dislike them. I think they're pretty beginner friendly, but not necessarily what I'm normally looking for a luxury brand in terms of quality, because you want it to hold that opacity but still be easy to blend out. You don't want it to actually lose the color, so you have to keep going back in. I'm gonna take a fluffier brush and I'm gonna use this one, which has a sheen to it. It's not really a matte shade, but I'm going to kind of put it over the brown to warm this entire look up. And then to bring the brown back in the outer corner, I'm going to take this brush from Blinged Brush, and I'm going back into this dark brown shade, and I'm going to try and not blend because we want that depth. So I'm just going to leave it like that. And then for the lower lash line, I'm going to go into the warm shade with a sheen, not matte, but not shimmery. And I'm going to blend this along the lower lash line. And then I'm going to go in with the matte brown shade, and I'm going to add the depth right here. And that's it for the base. Now it shimmers. So let me show you. I'm gonna apply this one, which feels beautiful to the touch, but with a brush that's pretty stiff, you don't get anything. And I don't like that for expensive eyeshadows. Now, when I use my finger, it's fine, but you know, you shouldn't have to adjust that much. And even though most shimmers are going to apply better with a finger, I prefer it if they can still be done with a brush. Because sometimes you have really long nails or you just don't want to get your fingers dirty, you're wearing a white outfit. Been there, done that. And then for the last shade, I'm just going to go into this lighter, kind of semi-pinky shade. Press it in here. This is a mess. It gets all over your face. It doesn't really like stick to the eyelid. It's just not a great palette. You can get a fine look. The look is very pretty actually, but it's not good quality, okay? And for funsies, okay, wait, let me put on bronzer first. Okay, I mean, I'm about to ruin the look with a very ill-matching blush, but it's not like I came here to look pretty for this kind of video, but we're gonna dig into the Love Face palette, and this is just the most unflattering blush. It's a personal thing. There are some people that I'm sure enjoy this blush, it looks good on them, but the majority of people kind of feel the same way that I do about this blush. And it also, if you're not careful with how you apply it, it does look patchy on the cheek and can peel up what's underneath. It's not Natasha Denona's best cream blush formulation. And it's such a big part of this palette that the fact that it just, for me, isn't usable, it's not going to look good. You know, it doesn't make the money worth it. I think if you're very, very pale and have a really cool skin tone, this could work, but it's very small, the amount of people that something like this would work for. And I'm going really slow, little by little, with this application so we can look as presentable as possible, because I don't really want to take my makeup off for a second time, because I had to already, because the pilling was so bad from the Peter Thomas Roth. Nothing was like sitting on top, so I did have to take that off. We'll keep it at this minimum, but you can see how it's like lighter than my skin tone. It's just not very flattering, but we're trying to get a whole look. And then I'm gonna go in with the Dream Glow, which this is fine. I don't mind this. But the blush just kind of kapooies on everything. The eyeshadows are great, but it only has one shimmer. I want shimmers from Natasha Denona. She does a good job with them. Not worth it. The last complexion product that I have is from Milk Makeup. This is a newer product that just launched. This is the mattifying setting spray. Now, the promo photos of it literally showed they sprayed it and her face was all of a sudden matte. That doesn't happen with this. I'm sure it might help with longevity, but I don't really notice this doing anything. So the advertising just is not what happened to me. So keep that in mind if the advertising photos is what got ya. Great mister though. Fantabulous. Okay, and then let's finish off with lips. Now, I told you guys at one point that I thought I liked these, but I don't think I like these. And I wanted to talk about the Too Faced Lip Injection Extreme Lip Shapers. Now the shade range in here, incredible, okay? I really like the idea behind these, but they have like kind of that lip injection formula, and they're very, very painful with very minimal plumping effects. I feel like the plumping effect that you're gonna get is just from the shade range here, which is really great for expanding the size of your lips pretty naturally, but these hurt. And when you first put them on, you don't really feel it, but then like 5 minutes in, you start to feel the burn, and it lasts for a long time. And if you fill in your lip, it hurts really bad. I'm gonna go in with cinnamon swirl, and I'm somebody that usually likes a little bit of tingle. This is painful. When I first tried this in first impressions, I was like, I think I like it, because it hadn't set in yet. And then I now notice every time I wear this, it stings for like 30 minutes. It hurt. 30 minutes is an exaggeration, but it's an extended period of time. It's tolerable. I've been wearing this because it's one of the only lip liners I have in my to try makeup drawer. But if you are not able to tolerate a lip plumper, you will not like these. And they're not even like super long lasting either. There's just so many better lip liners out there. I don't think these are worth it. They're painful. Why do you want your lips to hurt, you know? So anyways, this color though, it's very pretty. I'm starting to feel the tingle set in a little bit. But that brings me to the last product for today's video, and this is a new viral product for Makeup by Mario. These are the Moisture Glow Plumping Lip Colors. They separate, they're uneven on the lips. I don't think they're worth it. I think in terms of separation, some shades are better than others. I'm gonna go in with Soft Nude. This is the one that I find separates with me. So let's see. So it's quite pigmented, but you gotta keep the product minimal because it gives you butthole lip, and then it just doesn't really ever look even. I think with this amount of product that I have on, it's okay, I would leave it, but if you build it up, it will literally start to separate on the lips, especially as the day goes on. I recommend checking out my short. You'll really see what I was struggling with. I think I have nice dry lips. If you have anything underneath that's moisturizing, it separates with that as well. You can kind of see it starting down here. It just slips and slides all over the place. It's not good for longevity, even though it is a full pigment product. Not good. Slippy, slidey, and uneven. Don't like it at all. Not worth it. Makeup by Mario has other lip products that I find to be better. These are not worth it. As always though, these are just my opinions. If you love these products, go on, share your love for them in the comments. But these are ones, knowing you guys, knowing my subscribers who come back consistently, I knew these were products that you guys were interested in, and these are just, I don't think they're ones that you're gonna like. I don't think that they're worth it. So shop wisely if you must. If you want to know what to buy, I have a ton of videos that I've already done covering the sale, recommendations, some older favorites, some hauls that I did as well. It's my favorite time of content. I love creating Sephora sales videos, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If there's any products that you've tried recently that you were not a fan of and you don't think it's worth the money, comment that down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. But I gotta say, all things considered, other than the color of this blush, the makeup doesn't look bad. I paired the bad products with some good products, which I think kind of evened it out. But do you see how the spray, now that it's sat down, has not mattified my face? Just saying. Alright, bye guys, have a good one.